Hello and welcome back, everybody, to Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories on the PlayStation 1. In the last episode, we made it to the World Tournament and successfully defeated Rex Raptor. And in this episode, I'm showing off, well, we're grinding.
Under 27%, only 27%?
Yeah.
The fuck?
So, here's what grinding against Rex Raptor looks like. And I wanted specifically to show off at least some amount of the grinding that I had to do in order to do the run, because this is effectively what a majority of Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories turns into after about the first 2 hours. After the first 2 hours, all you end up doing is grinding, and yet more grinding, figuring out what the fusion table for your new deck is, and then continue grinding until your deck gets slightly better than that.
Yeah. Becomes necessary in the line of duty, like taking sleeping medication. Not really, so you sound like you sound half asleep for about 15 minutes straight. Then, of course, one of my favorite games to reference, of course, a From Software game, Sekiro, puts me at many impasses, whether I start leveling up my character in order to make him more powerful, or I just decide to die a bunch of times and use the learning experience in order to gain more power.
Yes and no. I mean, the big issue that I have with that particular comparison is, well, we're not actually, gaining power whilst we're farming against Rex, with the exception of attempting to grab specifically Crawling Dragon number 2 and Dragon Zombie. That's all we're hunting for. We'll end up with like 13 two-headed King Rexes in our quest. Now, two-headed King Rex is not honestly all that bad of a monster, but we're not gonna ever use him. And this is a really bad hand. We got a plant, 2 machines, and a water. Yeah, there's almost no fusion potential there at all.
Just remember, the last card you select is the card that probably actually makes it to the table.
Right.
Sure, plant plus flag equals fire-breathing dragon, of course.
No, that's plant and dragon equals Black Dragon Jungle King.
That is not a dragon, that is a flag.
Except it's Yamato Dragon Skull, who the game classifies as a dragon. So there.
Yeah, and the broader game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Also classifies that piece of paper as a flying demon.
No, Fiend is a totally different totally different major type. See? Candle of Fate is a Fiend.
Embryonic Beast also probably is a Fiend.
Yes, Embryonic Beast is also a Fiend. Embryonic Beast, interestingly, is one of the only legitimate ways to get Summon Skull in the game. In order to make Summon Skull, you need to fuse Embryonic Beast with Time Wizard, and that'll get you, in fact, Summon Skull. You cannot actually obtain Summon Skull as a legitimate prize card, though. It doesn't exist.
Wait.
There's Crawling Dragon number 2.
White Magical Hat.
Yeah, but White Magical Hat's a spellcaster, which means it's fucking terrible in this game.
And it has no effects.
The worst types in this game, very specifically, are Spellcaster, because its literal best fusion, I think, is Disc Magician. I think it is actually Disc Magician. Ugh. Well, no, it's actually Commentaries attack. But yeah, Spellcaster has no fusions over 2,000 attack power. But it goes Spellcaster, Fish, and
Clown Zombie.
Pyro? No, I wouldn't say Pyro, because Pyro's got Flame Cerberus and Crimson Sunbird. Yeah, I would almost have to say Fiend. Something due to the lack of support that it gets. Fiend gets almost no fucking fusions in this game. It gets Summon Skull, but the Fiend fusions for Summon Skull are so specific that it's very difficult to actually build a deck around it. You need either Job Change Mirror and triplets of it, or Time Wizard and Embryonic Beast, and that'll get you Summon Skull. But again, Summon Skull is only a 2,500 monster.
Right, and we have...
It's the second... it's like the third strongest actual fusion monster in the entire game, but it's not strong enough to carry you on its own. Which is its big problem.
Can you get Skull Knight from Summon Skull?
No, you can't.
Dang it.
Because Skull Knight isn't a fusible monster in this game. You can win Skull Knight, but you can't fuse into Skull Knight. Needle Ball, 2-mount Dark Roller, another Silica Hero number 2.
Oh no, and the duplicates are starting to clutter the menu. Trap Master.
Trap Master is also kind of terrible because Warriors technically cap out at 2200 with Judgment, but in order to make Judgment with Warrior, you specifically need the Judgment Hand,
Nice.
which you have a lot of difficulty getting unless you're farming on either Simon or I think Mai can drop it. It's been a while since I've looked up the actual drop rates on particular duelists. I forgot to attack. Oh, damn it.
It's alright. Unfortunately, the computer is not gracious enough to say, would you like to enter your combat step before you go to your end step?
Hey, look, it's Skullgone.
Skullgone.
Skullgone is actually a normal fusion monster in the actual Yu-Gi-Oh game.
Skell here? No. Skullgone. Go ahead and put your puny little creature down. I'm going to kill it now.
Yes, we will kill it with an armored zombie. Smack. So from what you've seen of this game so far, do you think you could actually pick this up and do okay on your own?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
It is way too convoluted. Okay, alright, let me give you an example. If I had a simple recipe guide right in front of me that gives me, very consistent fusions with decent attack, and then I just figure the rest of the game out while also working my way towards the bigger fusions, like you have, then yeah, I would totally, at least be able to beat the obese marmot of nefariousness. I could hang, but would I actually? Probably not. Because then the game would get pretty well repetitive, and then it feels, or maybe I've just had my fill of Yu-Gi-Oh games at the same point. Well, I'm happy to know the guide exists for those who desire it.
To be perfectly honest, even having the fusion table in front of you isn't as much help as you think it would be. It is a great help, certainly, but the big problem that the fusion guide doesn't help you with is figuring out who you're supposed to be farming on.
That too.
Until you've officially beaten the game at least once, you kind of need someone else to tell you that, hey, you need to defeat Pegasus in a very specific manner in order to go get some very specific cards. And if you don't have these specific cards, you may as well put the game down because you're not going to finish it. Now see, we're already up to 3 two-headed King Rex.
Not to mention that you are using a modded version of the game that gives you 15 times the card drops.
Yes, 15 times the card
Which
drops.
means that it would take another player more than 10 times the amount of time. If it takes you an hour, it takes that person 10 hours. If it takes you 2 hours, it takes that person, well, I mean, he'll leave...
Yeah.
He'll leave the money on the table saying, please buy me a new game. Says, why don't you go get it yourself? I've lost faith in the universe.
Go, Skullgone.
Just kind of cram your zombies together and you got an even more powerful zombie.
No, that is specifically what happens when you combine a 1600 plus dragon with a zombie without going over 2000.
What I applaud this game for is that no matter what, the fused together monster, the product, if you will, is always more powerful than at least one of the components that created it.
Well, that's how it's supposed to work, but the glitch fusions throw that out the window.
Glitch fusions.
Yeah, this game is programmed like shit, so there are glitch fusions.
So there are fusions that are actually worse than the components that put it together.
Yep.
That sucks.
Specifically, there's a glitch fusion for Cocoon of Evolution involving Darkfire Dragon. I forget exactly how to do it though, but yeah, you can fuse for Cocoon of Evolution using Darkfire Dragon. It's the only way to actually get Cocoon of Evolution into your library though.
Okay, we got a fairy. Looks like we got a bunch of garbage.
Yep.
Garbage. It's alright, we got a pretty decent monster. This guy has got relentless piles of garbage seeping from his deck one at a time. But so are we, but the problem is we're taking out his creatures one at a time as well.
Go, Bolt Escargot!
Oui, oui. Bon appetit.
That is a fusion of using water and thunder together. As long as they don't exceed 1400.
Sure, okay.
Yes, for the original games, stat lines are actually very, very important, because what the fusion table actually is it's reading individual card numbers and then comparing them to the in-game fusion table that you don't actually have the ability to see. There is in fact a confirmed fusion table that is rock solid in the coding. And in order for it to actually be rock solid, what it's doing is comparing individual card values with the fusion system in order to bring out the desired result. Graveyard in the Hand of Invitation. Hey, look, we got an Exodia piece.
We
No,
got the blue-eyed
Exodia
silver
pieces
zombie.
Exodia pieces are terrible to win in this game, very specifically because you cannot actually get, without cheating, the entire Exodia set. I think it's the legs. Yeah, it's both legs you can't get.
Well, that's a
both
tease.
heads. You can get a head and both arms, but you can't get either of the legs.
That is a real tease. Like, that would literally drive me crazy if nobody told me, yeah, you can't finish Exodia, but I'm so close!
No, you're not. You're only 60% close. It's okay. Just give up on your dreams at 60% like all normal
It's
people.
more than half.
Yes, it's more than half, but it's still significantly further away than you'd like to be.
Oh, this just doesn't enter into it. See, the problem with the problem with leaving out that the road is closed is that I already started walking.
Well, you didn't make it all that far, so there.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Go back home, sit on your couch, think about all the things you didn't do today.
It's a life lesson. Think of all the nice places where I've been, and take a deep breath and count to 10. Think all the nice places that I've been. Take a deep breath and count to 10. Ain't gonna let it get under my skin. Alright, so we still got time to fit in one more grinding session, probably.
Two actually. So what's new in the world of Cloud? Yay, we got a dragon zombie! Woohoo!
Well, feels sometimes like the television has at last reached its almighty electronic hand and grasped me on the shoulder and said, "You're going to have to go onto the internet today, Mr. Cloud, and we invite you to keep an open mind for these very strange times we have found ourselves in." I'll go into more detail, but at the same time, I feel that my vernacular, while trying not to clip my microphone every 5 goddamn seconds, and let me simply say that shit has gotten real.
No, the most realist of shit.
It's either real or it is not real.
Alright, I should explain how the hell to actually get Soul Hunter since I won't be showing it off. To acquire Soul Hunter, you need either Crash Clown or Clown Zombie with any reptile under 2200 attack points. That'll get you Soul Hunter. Thankfully, every reptile in the game is less than 2200 attack points, so it's actually both relatively easy and relatively complicated to get at the same time because it requires 2 specific cards in order to go into.
I feel like I'm finally starting to catch up with the Two-Mouth Dark Ruler. I only needed to see it over and over and over and over again to realize all you need is a dragon and an electric type, and because Dragon Zombie stupidly is dragon in this game, then it fits the recipe.
Hey, Hey, we got a door on.
In the next part.
And in the next episode, we will, well, be done with our grinding session. So there.
We've done it.
Be safe, everybody.